Yo, what's going on, guys? So, here we go. We finally done what we didn't want to do. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, anything like that. Just trying to show you the facts. So, cycle low was your 40,132, 40,150, whatever you had December 11th. That was your cycle low, right? Unless you was on the Kraken chart, then this January 3rd was your cycle low. Either way, they both broke. So, what does that mean? That means impulse down, find bottom for the impulse back up for the lower high, and then a rollover and a continuation to the downside. So I went to my GAN. Everybody knows I use Ganzilla. Most of you don't know what it is, and you'll never know what it is because you won't even take the time to look it up. But that's okay. That's what I do. So these are fib numbers from Ganzilla. If you know how to use it, you understand what those numbers are. Those are supports. And once we broke that, we're trying to figure out where we look to go next. So if I go back in history, once we broke cycle low, how much did we go down? So this was your cycle low. You broke it here. So let's measure down. So you went down 3.4%. Or do you measure all that? No, you measure this because then you impulse back up. Well, how much did you impulse back up after you went? 8%. Not good, huh? But that's when you started doing your big fall. All right, what about the one over here? Cycle low. This is your cycle low. Price fell 6.5%. Well, how much did it impulse back up after it went? Went up 26% from that cycle low. All right. So that's, those two humps in the 60s, right? What about the 2019? So in 2019, done the same thing, right? Kind of had a high, lower high. So you see, we're looking at the same thing. 6% drawdown, 20% run back up. What about 2017 when we did it? Guess what? Same thing. Broke. This one was 22% down. That's 22%. 23. Sorry, 23%. So 23% down there. But then your total run back up. $64. Here's the thing. After it made the break, even though it run back up 64%, it still made a lower high. Notice that in every one of these things, every play, every one of these, lower high. Once you break structure, that's what you do. You make lower high. This one's a little bit harder to see because it done it so close. Lower high, and then that's when you started shitting the bed. We had the big pump right here in the middle of that, but it didn't lead to nothing. We still went all the way to the bottom. And we've talked about never broke structure, never broke structure. We've just been climbing this whole time. Well, we finally broke structure. So if we look at this, let's say we go down 8%. 6.8 takes you to the 37.4 fib. 10% will take you down to that 35.9 fib. We sure don't want to see 22, 23%. That takes you down to 30,000. Well, guess what? That's a floor for us. We all know that. So all the numbers make sense right now. You know, just with hoping to see Bitcoin stay higher for longer to give us better ranges on our altcoins. We still don't know how that's going to play out. We got to watch the numbers, see how far the pullback is, see how much it's going to affect us. So you figure if we do something from here and we do a 20% bounce, 22% bounce, that takes us back up in this area, 45, 46. So not a decent, not a bad number. So something like, like this, and then kind of peter out. By the time we get to end of February, getting into March, then just start falling down. So it's like it's not like we haven't seen it. It's not like we don't know how to prepare for it. We just understand the market structure. We broke the major, right? That was the line in the sand. It's broken. So even though we're going to go down, we find support, we impulse back to the short side. How long it wavers up here, who knows? We have to just watch, because then we're not going to have a higher high to give us a new low. So we just got to watch and see what happens. But in the history of Bitcoin, once you break that lower high and you fall, that's throughout the history of Bitcoin since charting it from 2009. So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't get caught up in the hype of Bitcoin's resetting, going for all-time highs. Don't fall for that stupid shit, man. ETFs didn't do nothing. Grayscale dumped a lot of Bitcoin in here. FTX dumped a lot of Bitcoin in here. These guys know what they're doing. This is what they were doing. They were distributing to you this whole time. So they're handling their job. Watch. Just understand the plays are here. Take advantage of them. Get ready for the next setup. That's all I can tell you. Be safe out there. Don't get run over by the fucking train. Later, guys.